Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to be reading the budget bill, AB 106. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's get right into it. AB 106 Budget Acts of 2022, 2022, and 2023, 2023. Assembly Bill number 106, Chapter 9. Approved by Governor April 15th, 2024. Filed with Secretary of State April 15th, 2024. Legislative Council's Digest. AB 106, Gabriel Budget Acts of 2022 and 2023. The Budget Act of 2022 and the Budget Act of 2023 made appropriations for the support of state government for the 2022, 2023, and 2023 and 2024 fiscal years. This bill would amend the Budget Act of 2022 and the Budget Act of 2023 by amending, adding, and repealing items of appropriation and making other changes. This bill would declare that it is to take effect immediately as a budget bill. Vote majority, appropriations, yes. Fiscal committee, yes. Local program, no. The people of the state of California do enact as follows. Section 1, Section 19.56 of the Budget Act of 2022 is amended to read. Section 1956A1. The amounts appropriated pursuant to this section reflect legislative priorities. 2. For allocations in this section that include a designated state entity, the entity shall allocate the funds to the recipients identified in the paragraphs following each designation. The state entity shall determine the best method for allocation to ensure the funds are used for the purposes specified in this section. Self-attestation by the receiving entity is an acceptable method of verification of the use of funds, if determined appropriate by the state entity. 3. Notwithstanding by any other law, allocations pursuant to this section are exempt from the personal services contracting requirements of Article 4, commencing with Section 19130 of Chapter 5 of Part 2 of Division 5 of the Title II of the Government Code, from Part 2 commencing with Section 10100 of Division 2 of the Public Contract Code, and the State Contracting Manual, and are not subject to the approval of the Department of General Services, including the requirements of Chapter 6, commencing with Section 14825 of Part 5.5 of Division 3 of the Title II of the Government Code. If any number 4, the appropriate department for a state entity does not exist, and such an item number is required in order to make the specified allocation, the Department of Finance may create an item number for this purpose. Interesting. Notwithstanding any other law, a designated state entity administering an allocation pursuant to this section may provide the allocation as an advance lump sum payment, and the allocation may be used to pay for costs incurred prior to the effective date of the act. Adding this paragraph. 6. The Department of Finance may authorize the transfer of allocating authority to a different state entity to facilitate the expenditure of the funds for the intended legislative purpose. Any state entity that allocates funds may also, in consultation with the Department of Finance, use an alternative local fiscal agent that is not identified in this section, instead of the fiscal agent designated in this section if necessary to achieve the intended legislative purpose. Any change to the allocating state entity or fiscal agent made pursuant to this paragraph shall be reported to the Joint Legislative Budget Committee in writing at least 30 days or no sooner than whatever lesser time after the notification, the chairperson of the Joint Committee or the chairperson's designee may determine prior to the change. It is the intent of the legislature to revise this section during the 2022-2023 fiscal year to reflect any changes necessary to achieve the intended legislative purpose. 7. Unless otherwise specified in the section, funds allocated pursuant to this section shall be available for encumbrance through June 30th, 2024, and expenditure until June 30th, 2026. So we'll read that again. That's June 30th, 2024, and expenditure until June 30th, 2026. 8. Funding provided in this section shall not be used for a purpose subject to Section 8 of Article, what is that? XVI is, I want to say, what's that, 21? Or is that 15? Hold on, let me just double check. Could be totally off on that. Let's see. XVI is 16. Okay. Subject. Okay, let's read that again. 8. Funding provided in this section shall not be used for a purpose subject to Section 8 of the Article 16 of the California Constitution. If the Department of Finance determines that any allocation would be considered an appropriation for that purpose, funding shall not be allocated, and the department shall notify the Joint Legislative Budget Committee of that finding. 9. The amount specified in subdivisions B to M inclusive are hereby appropriated from the general fund as follows. All right, so this is from the general fund. Parks and open space to be allocated by the Department of Parks and Recreation as follows. A. $5 million to the Department of Parks and Recreation for the Marshall Cottle Park improvements. B. $5 million to the Department of Parks and Recreation for the California Citrus State Historic Park improvements. C. $1 million to the City of Bakersfield for the Community Action Partnership of Kern for the Friendship House Community Center sports field repairs. D. $25 million for the California Citrus State Historic Park capital improvements. All right, I'm just making sure. Okay, California Citrus Historic Park capital. The other one was California Citrus State Park improvements. Department of Parks and Recreation, California, and California Citrus Historic Park capital. All right, is it just me? So it looks like there's $5 million going to the Parks of Recreation for this California Citrus Historic Park, and also an additional $25 million to the Historic State Park capital improvements. All right, so B and D look like they're going to the recreation of the California State Historic Park. So I don't know, it looks like a total of $30 million. Could be wrong, but hey, if anybody else listening to this thinks otherwise or may know, please leave it in the comments. But it looks like there is, I don't know if there's a difference between Department of Parks and Recreation for California Citrus State Historic Park and California Citrus State Historic Park capital improvements. Anyway, let's continue. E. $15 million to the city of Anaheim for the repair and expansion of Boysen Park. $2.5 million to the city of Glendale for the Mountain Oaks open space acquisition. $2.5 million to the city of Sassoon for park upgrades, Prosperity Garden Park and Montebello Vista Park. $1.5 million to the city of Fairfield for park upgrades, Linear Park and Allen Witt Park. 1.3 million to the city of 29 Palms for the rehabbing and complete reconstruction of its community pool. 1 million to the county of Sonoma for the Maxwell Farms Regional Park. 200,000 to the city of South El Monte for renovation of new Temple Park facilities. Just need to pause just real quick and then we'll get back to it. Taking notes. Okay. All right, where are we at? Okay, 1 million to the county of Sonoma for the Maxwell Farms Regional Park. 200,000 to the city of South El Monte for the renovation of new Temple Park facilities. 500,000 to the city of La Mesa for the school and park mobility access improvements. 500,000 to the city of Whittier for the lighting installation for the Murphy Ranch Little League. 200,000 to the city of San Gabriel for the La Laguna de San Gabriel Historic Playground, Vincent Lugo Park restoration. 100,000 to the city of Modesto for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Stanislaus County for the modular unit at Martin Luther King Jr. Park to be moved to a new location adjacent to the Dryden Golf Course, funding for Phase 2. 1.6 million to the city of Vista for the Luz Duran Park Community Center and Sheriff's Substation. 1.5 million to the city of Ensenadas for the Moonlight Beach barrels and storm water repairs. 1.4 million to the city of Vista for EV charging station. 700,000 to the city of Ensenadas for the Cardiff Sport Park LED sports lighting. 600,000 to the city of Ensenadas for the Wyro Park and Orpheus Park playground. 15 million to the city of Calexico for the new River Parkway. Wow, 15 million. 8.5 million for the city of Pico Rivera for the renovation of Rio Hondo Park. 7 million to the city of San Diego for the city of San Diego Parks and Recreation Department. There's quite a few communities there. But let me just go read it, I guess. For time's sake, I was going to skip over this, but I know we might have some people located in the city of San Diego. So let's read it. All right. Carmel Knolls Park Comfort Station, Carmel Mission Park Comfort Station, Penasquitos Creek Park Comfort Station, Sage Canyon Park Concession Building plus Field Renovation, Rancho Bernardo Community Park Design and Construction of Sports Field Lighting, Tennis Courts and Parking Lot ADA Compliance Improvements, including Dog Park Off-Leash Area, Black Mountain Mine Open Space Area Environmental Study, Canyonside Community Park Tennis Center Expansion, which includes a 5% State Parks Administration fee. 5% Parks Administration fee. Interesting. 1.3 million to the city of Linwood for the Fernwood Avenue Park project. 1.7 million to the city of Alhambra for Alhambra Parks to build a pocket park and upgrade, add Wi-Fi connectivity, electric charging stations, and book hold lockers at existing parks. 1.6 million to the city of Long Beach for the completion of the El Dorado Regional Park youth softball and baseball fields. 1.6 million. 1.6 million to the city of Long Beach for the Stearns Park softball and baseball field improvements. 1 million to the city of Cupertino for the all-inclusive playground at Jollyman Park. 700,000 to the city of Yorba Linda for the Bryant Ranch Park Improvement Project. $2.3 million to the city and county of San Francisco for the South Sunset Clubhouse and Playground renovation. $2 million to the city of Southgate for community facilities, park, or recreation facilities construction, acquisition, or improvements, including but not limited to capital outlay related to the municipal auditorium, Hollydale Regional Park improvements, or Circle Park. $2 million to the city of Corona for phase 2 of renovating Griffin Park. $2 million to the city of San Diego for the South Claremont Community Park Recreation Center. $2 million for the city of San Diego for the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Park pool upgrade. $2 million to the Lockford Community Services District Parks and Recreation for building in Lockford Memorial Park restroom and for the Lockford Community Center. All right, just want to do a quick pause here. Very interesting. I'm wondering who's getting these contracts. Just assuming that they're going to be hiring some contractors for all this work. So just a quick question. All right, let's continue. AG, $6 million to the city and county of San Francisco for the Portsmouth Square renovation. Of this amount, $500,000 shall be used for clubhouse improvements, including kitchen facilities. $500,000 shall be used for culturally significant public art components in the square. $1 million shall be used for capital improvements to Walter U. Lum Place, such as pathways and pedestrian lighting. The remaining $4 million shall be for additional capital improvements to Portsmouth Square as determined by the city. Any remaining funds not used for this purpose may be spent only for the purposes identified in subclauses 1 to 3 inclusive. All right. $3,200,000 to the city of South San Francisco for the Linden Park project. $3 million for the East Bay Regional Park District for the creation of the first public Thurgood Marshall Regional Park access point. $2,900,000 to the city of Lakewood for the Lakewood Equestrian Center Improvement Project, or for improvements or construction at other facilities designated by the city. $2.8 million to the city of Irvine for the Sweet Shade Park inclusive playground. $10 million to the County of Los Angeles Department of Parks and Recreation for the funding to convert a closed landfill into a new regional park. $700,000 to the city of Oakland for the Verdes Center Park renovation. $300,000 to the city of Encinitas for portable lifeguard towers. $295,000 to the city of Oakland for, all right, I'm going to totally mess this word up, but let's try it anyway. Tasafarongo Park upgrades. $200,000 to the city of Encinitas for beach access improvements. $150,000 to the city of Encinitas for Olivinahan Trail enhancement. Olivinahan Trail? I don't know. Anyway, it's spelled Olivenhain. Trail enhancements. $1,700,000 to the city and county of San Francisco Department of Parks and Recreation for the No Valley Town Square and Presita Park public restrooms. Remaining funds would go towards future modular restrooms. $2 million to the city of Bell Gardens for the Regional Aquatic Center at John Anson Ford Park. $8.5 million, or $8,500,000 to the city of Paris for the Foss Field Park renovation. $10 million to the city of Costa Mesa for the park upgrades for Jack Hammett Sports Complex, Tewinkle Athletic Complex, Fairview Park Mesa, and Shalimar Park. $4,800,000 to the city of Tustin for the Sentinel Park modernization and improvements. $900,000 to the city of Linwood for the Urban Bike Trails and Water Quality Improvements Project. $5 million to the city of Carlsbad for Carlsbad Veterans Memorial Park improvements. $3,500,000 to the city of Vista for Boys and Girls Club Indoor Soccer Arena Project. $5 million to the city of Hawthorne for the Hawthorne Community Center Project. $2 million to the city of Long Beach for the Hutton Park Signature Playground Project. $6 million to the city of San Diego for Balboa Park restroom repairs. $2,500,000 to the city of San Diego for the Emerald Hills Community Park Project. $2,200,000 to the county of Mendocino for the Bower Park Restoration Project. $1,035,000 to the city of Oakland for Arroyo Viejo Park improvements. $9 million to the county of Santa Clara for the Speed City Legacy Project. Speed City Legacy Project. Okay. $5 million to the city of San Fernando for a one-time grant to the San Fernando Valley Boys and Girls Club to conduct building maintenance and safety upgrades, close the digital divide, modernize after-school STEM activities, and provide after-school meals. 2, to be allocated by the Natural Resources Agency as follows. $6,700,000 to the city of Los Angeles for the National Museum of the Surface Navy at the battleship USS Iowa. $2,500,000 to the county of Los Angeles for the Conga Kids Discover the Diaspora Assembly Program. Expansion of Conga Kids Premier Residency Program in the County of Los Angeles, evaluation and curriculum development with UCLA Luskin School of Social Welfare. All right. $20 million to the city of Sacramento for various community reinvestment projects. And what does that mean? All right. So, fellow Sacramento people, we need to figure out what that $20 million is. $20 million to this for various community what is that? What? All right. Anyway, let's continue. $7,200,000 to County of Ventura for the Ventura County Land Trust to complete the capital campaigns for 2 open space preserves, including an off-property welcome center and office space. $6 million to San Francisco Recreation and Parks Department for the Japantown Peace Plaza renovation. 3, to be allocated by the State Air Resources Board as follows. $3 million for the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District for Northern Sacramento Air Quality Improvement Projects. 4, to be allocated by the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy as follows. $1,500,000 to the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy for Lavina Trail Completion Altadena. $10 million for open space wildlife linkage acquisition, Mansdorf Deer Creek property. 5, to be allocated by San Gabriel and Lower Los Angeles Rivers and Mountains Conservancy as follows. $2,700,000 to the San Gabriel and Lower Los Angeles Rivers and Mountains Conservancy for Clara Oaks to purchase 100 acres of open space in Claremont. I'm going to repeat that again. 100 acres of open space in Claremont. So it looks like there's some open space in Claremont. $3,800,000 to the San Gabriel and Lower Los Angeles Rivers and Mountains Conservancy for the walking trail along the San Gabriel River to the Pacific Ocean. $50 million for the San Gabriel and Lower Los Angeles Rivers and Mountains Conservancy. $50 million for the Southeast Los Angeles Cultural Center project. All right. The funds appropriated in this subparagraph shall be available for encumbrance or expenditure through June 30th, 2026. All or part of these funds may be transferred to a local or state department or agency for the purposes specified in this subparagraph. The funds shall be used for capital outlay related to the project, including but not limited to relocating the Los Angeles Flood Control District South Imperial Yard and costs related thereto, reimbursing state or local agencies that participate in that relocation, and funding, design, development, and planning of the project by state or local agencies. D. $7 million for the Community Connections to Wildlands program for Southeast Los Angeles County youth, including but not limited to qualified capital outlay, programming costs, transportation costs, or necessary food and drink costs for program purposes. 6. To be allocated by the State Coastal Conservancy as follows: $5 million for the Santa Ana River Conservancy Program. 7. To be allocated by the Ocean Protection Council as follows: $5,600,000 to the University of California, Santa Cruz, the California State University, Monterey Bay, Stanford University, and Center for Blue Economy at the Middlebury for white shark monitoring technology. $3 million to the Monterey Bay Aquarium for the Monterey Bay Aquarium Sea Otters tank. Wow. To be allocated by the Department of Water Resources as follows: $8,500,000 to the city of La Habra for the Coyote Creek and Imperial Channel Improvement Project. $3 million to the city of Azusa for the replacement of the South Reservoir. $21,800,000 to the Alameda County Public Works Agency for the Alameda Creek Restoration Phase 3 project. 9. To be allocated by the Department of Fish and Wildlife as follows: $2,210,000 to the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association for supporting community building, biodiversity, awareness, protection of endangered species, and accessibility and inclusivity. B. $1,900,000 for the city of Rancho Cucamonga for the Rancho Cucamonga Wildlife Detection Initiative. 10. To be allocated by the Department of Parks and Recreation as follows: $2 million to the city of Glendale for the restoration of the Casey Stengel baseball field, historic Glendale landmark. $10,400,000 to the Spanish Town Heritage Foundation through the County of Riverside Regional Park and Open Space District for the preservation of Trujillo Adobe. $6 million to the city of Fremont for the Sabercat Bridge and Trail Project. $1,500,000 to the city of Maywood for the Riverfront Park renovation project. $600,000 to the city of San Diego for the Mountain View Park Sport Court. $8 million to the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy for climate resilience projects. 12. To be allocated by the State Coastal Conservancy as follows: $300,000 to the city of Ensenadas for the Marine Safety Connected Coastal Lines. B. $5 million to the Palos Verdes Peninsula Land Conservancy for habitat restoration and wildlife mitigation in Rancho Palos Verdes. 13, to be allocated by the Department of Parks and Recreation as follows. $1,200,000 to the city of Rolling Hills Estates Nature Center for construction costs of the Nature Center. $8,500,000 to the city of Pico Rivera for the Smith Park Aquatic Center renovation. $2,750,000 to the city of La Mirada for the Buringer Park Athletic Field renovations. $4,450,000 to the city of Redwood to convert downtown Redwood City parking lots to active park spaces and the creation of the Redwood Creek Trail via new boardwalks and pathways. $4 million to the city of Stockton for aquatics and parks facilities. $5 million to the Los Angeles Neighborhood Land Trust, county-based nonprofit, for the Clara Park renovation project and the Maywood Riverfront Park renovation project. $5 million to Discovery Cube Los Angeles for the Sustainability Park project, to be allocated by the Natural Resources Agency as follows. $1 million to the Trust for Public Land for Urban Greening and Sustainable Infrastructure in Pacoima. $1 million to the San Diego Unified School District for the development of the Earth Lab Open Air Climate Park. 15 to be allocated by the State Coastal Conservancy as follows. $2,500,000 to the Land Conservancy of San Luis Obispo County for Camada Ranch preservation. $1,500,000 to the, might jack this one up, but let's do this anyway. Cayucos, spelled Cayucos. Land Conservancy for the Total Coast Preserve Project. $3 million to the Coastal Conservancy for environmental cleanup, water supply studies, and public access projects in the Eel and Russian River watersheds. 16 to be allocated by the Department of Parks and Recreation as follows. $2 million to the city of Acarta for Humboldt Crabs Ball Park and Carlson City Park improvements. $1,200,000 to the city of Costa Mesa for the Ketchum Liebolt Park upgrades. $800,000 to the city of Santa Clara for the Magical Bridge all-inclusive playground in Central Park. $2,300,000 to the city of Hermosa Beach for the renovation of the Hermosa Beach Pier. $6 million to the city of Agoura Hills for the Linear Park project. All right. 17. $1,300,000 to the Puente Hills Habitat Preservation Authority to provide funding for ranger services for firefighting, law enforcement, outdoor education, and protection of the natural resources for trail visitors. 18 to be allocated by the Natural Resources Agency, $10 million to Discover Cube Orange County to purchase property adjacent to the Science Museum in nearby Santiago Creek for construction of an open-air, hands-on STEM center, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Education Center. 19 to be allocated by the Arts Council, $2,500,000 to the city of Palm Springs for the renovation of the Palm Springs Plaza Theater. $7 million to the city of Carson for the city facilities, parks, and community infrastructure. So for those in the city of Carson, $7 million for community infrastructure. $6 million to the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy for the open space wildlife linkage protection acquisition in the Santa Susana Mountains adjacent to existing public park land. 22 to be allocated by the State Coastal Conservancy as follows: 36 million for the East Bay Recreation and Park District for the Point Molate open space acquisition and cleanup. All right, 50 million to the city of Berkeley for the marina and pier projects. 23 to be allocated by the Department of Parks and Recreation as follows: 3 million to the city of San Diego for the Olive Grove Community Park upgrades, 8 million to the city of San Diego for the Ward Canyon Park expansion and completion, 150,000 to the city of San Diego for the Sierra Mesa Trail improvements, 5 million to the State Coastal Conservancy for phase 2 of the Maritime Museum of San Diego redevelopment project, 25, 1,260,000 to the County of San Diego for the Casa Familiar for creation of Avanzando San Isidro Community Land Trust, 175,000 to San Diego River Conservancy for San Diego Regional Quality Control Board for technical assistance services, 2 million to the State Coastal Conservancy for the City of San Diego for the Camino de la Costa Viewpoint Coastal and Beach Access. All right, so we will stop there. That is part 1. We will continue with part 2 at another time. So I'm going to try to be doing these reads, like having a marathon read back to back. So be on the look for, some of these updates with the bill. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel at E-Man the Master Media Group. I really appreciate that. And since these reparations bills, SB 1331, 1403, and 1050 have passed the Senate, they are moving along to the Assembly, California Assembly. So we will be giving everyone some updates. So please stay tuned and engaged in this process. We actually might be having a show. Hopefully I'll be able to get this recording up before the 9th. So that's June 9th. So that'll be Sunday, June the 9th. So definitely check us out, because we're going to be giving everyone some updates and a chance to participate. So that's once again on June 9th. And that's going to be our Road to Reparations show. That's Sundays at 10 a.m. We haven't been having them as consistent just because, we've been so busy. And then I know, things are kind of hit and miss with when these bills are going to be going through. So when we get updated, we try to update everyone as possible. But at the same time, you can reach out to your local district representative, your assembly member, and or your senator. You can just click on that QR code. That's provided by CJEC, Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, CJEC-official.org. So you can check that out. And if interested, Thursdays at 7 p.m., check out the California Reparations Task Force Final Report read. Where you can definitely get some information on the final report. And go ahead and subscribe to CJEC, that's CJEC-official.org, so you can get updated to all the local lineage-based reparations bills that are going through. And please do not forget, it will be in the description, to sign up for our Amazon affiliate program. Greatly appreciate that. And if you have not had a chance to listen to part 2, we've done part 1 and part 2 for the 1866 Reconstruction Treaties. You can go check that out as well. And just to remember, 41 assembly members, 21 senators, and 1 governor equals California reparations. So family, on that note, thank you for tuning in, and look forward to reading part 2 of AB 106 And on that note, as always, appreciate your time. Take care of you and your family. And we're out. Peace and reparations.